What's going on, everybody? It's me, Shane, and I'm here to give you another Trigun Stargaze episode review. We're at episode 7, The Hurt Locker. Before I go any further, please, it's not going to hurt you to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be notified of more reviews like this one. Make sure you share the video and you visit that Patreon in there. That Patreon is if you want to help support me even further. Either way it goes, I appreciate you guys for being here. So, this was a really good episode, especially me coming off of episodes 5 and 6 and going, man, why is it just, I just feel like y'all keep losing. This was so good. Wasn't even, no, there isn't a battle. There's no battle in here. There is really great dialogue, especially on the part of Vash to Knives. I cannot wait to get in here, and it's some. Let's talk about some of the little stuff here, such as opening before the intro with more and more animation. It makes me feel that when we get to the finale, which I don't know if this is getting to season 3. I do not know where they're going with this. It feels like we're getting closer and closer to like making it like the manga, right? Or at least, like I said, that integration. But I feel like the closer we get to the ending, we might get more an episode that's completely drawn. Because this right here, that's supposed to be young Nicholas Wolf. Well, I guess he still is young, not altered in his health in his age or anything yet. But this is when he left the orphanage. I don't know why this does this like this. This is why we're trying to get editing here. But yeah, that's fun. That was really nice. Actually, there's another part where they go back to home, or ship 3, if you will. And there's a worker there. I know I took a picture of this guy because one, I thought I took a picture of this guy. Dang. Well, the dude looked like a brother, but he was also hand drawn. Did I accidentally delete that from myself? I might have accidentally. No, I didn't. Here it is. Found it. Like literally, this brother here is literally drawn. Like he looks completely different from, and in this same shot, boy, this was a really grainy picture I got. I wish I could have done. But in this shot, we have the other cell shaded characters that you can even tell just from this. That looks completely different from that. I'm patiently awaiting when it's going to be a full episode just hand drawn. Where are we at here? I like I definitely took a picture of this one. I hope I can get this as the thumbnail, but Millie and Meryl, she took some selfies because the satellites are down, which has impeded long-range communication, not short-range communication. And while they're documenting everything, because Meryl's like, no matter what, because even if Millie was questioning whether there was even a job to return to, excuse me, Meryl's like, we're journalists. And it took me a minute to realize, oh yeah, you guys were insurance people in the original anime. But they're journalists, so they got to keep chronicling all this stuff. And it is so funny, so cute when they get back to home, to home, ship 3. And they're showing all the pictures. And it's like 3 selfies in there. And it's so funny. It's like a messed up presentation at work. Also, there's pictures of like Millie in there beating up bandits. Like, not covered, but she's just like whooping their asses. Pretty dang cool. And so, what we get a sit rep here. It's been 5 months since the events that took place in the last episode, and it took me a minute to go when Brad was like, "Did you think we were just sitting on our butts for 5 months?" And I'm like, "Well, wait a minute. We all would have got Vash. It'd been like what?" A year, maybe 2 years. I want to say maybe a year. I want to say 2 years though. Been like 2 years or so. And you said 5 months, and it just clicked. I'm like, we did a big old time jump from episode 6 to 7. Okay. let's talk about the sit rep. So within the area of deliverance, which, by the way, since the map was in English and I saw that they spelled July like the regular month of July, I still wonder why whoever does like the editing for these spelled out July, Julai. I don't, probably the same reason why they still call it Stampede on Hulu instead of Stargaze, but I'm not gonna talk about it. So that whole area, because the arc is going around the world of No Man's Land, taking all the plants that it can, and here the area is just desolate. That first, I think we're back at that first town that we met Vash when he did that cool stuff, and even I like that the wanted post for him just says canceled. It's like, we're all going to die. Who cares about this at this point, right? Nothing but red sand. It's nothing there. And and everyone has been migrating to stay alive, and they've gone to the city of Octavern. And Octavern has just enough plant power to stave off starvation from everybody. And as a matter of fact, I did take a picture here. I don't know if you can make it out. Hopefully you can make it out. Outside of like this very interesting structure that's of course it's overly blue. Outside of this structure here, down closer you see like different kind of tents and stuff like that. I thought that was an interesting little detail here, going like people can't go inside, but they can probably move around to try to get a little bit of water. In 1 month's time, the ships from Earth should be coming to No Man's Land, so everyone's preparing for that. But I'm just gonna say good guy side knows that Knives' plan is probably to just eradicate all the humans in one spot, because everyone's there. And I do like how Ludia and Brad is so nice when it's just more than like main characters that get what's going on. They're like, well, obviously he pushed everybody in one spot. He's probably going to try to get rid of all humans at one time. But they got the ship together. The ship was upright like this, because remember, we got 3 or 4 prongs. They were able to get it to sit up. So when the arc shows up, they fighting back. Answers. Don't care about that. And some other stuff is different too. Even though it's for a second, you see Mid Valley, the Horn Freak teaching kids musical style, do re mi fa sol la ti do. You got Emilio doing the same peasants puppet show that the kids like do something different. They were begging him to do it, and they were telling him to do something different. For some reason, he still has that mind of a child. Well, he hung out with Knives, so I digress. Pardon me. And so, I'm trying to think what else is going on here that needs attention. Another cute thing, but it's also an endearing thing, is that, Millie and Meryl have made note, like, we've been together for an entire year. So they know each other inside and out. Meryl was narrating Millie's thoughts out loud, and even did a Millie impression. Saying, "Oh, I should have saved my water, and I should have listened to my very smart singer." Blah blah blah. She's like, don't narrate my thoughts out loud, which is funny. Then she narrates Meryl's thoughts when they're back on the home ship, because Meryl is wondering, do we really have to kill Knives in order to stop all this? As a matter of fact, hold on. I'm going to make sure. They want to rescue Vash and take down the Ark. That's 2 things they must do. So she's saying, do they have to kill Knives? Is that the right thing to do? Does a sacrifice of some, is that better to save the many? What would Vash do? And I'm saying, like, y'all need to kill his ass. Knives cannot stay around. I don't know how this version of Knives, I don't know how you stop him, because he seems much bigger threat. But Knives in here is showing more of what I recognize from the 98 anime, and I'll get to his part in a minute. But excuse me. Meryl already knows Vash would say he's going to protect everybody, even if that's not the right answer. And yeah, that is a very Vash answer. Now, I'm going to talk about this, because I think this conversation happened before. Did this happen before here? This did happen before this. Gotta talk about this conversation. So I was reminded, not remembered. I was reminded that we did get a Tesla episode. We did see the episode on why Knives went crazy, especially when Knives brought up his little Urukusaki blade hand, and we see an eye there, and it's like, because he asked Vash about Tesla. Now, they're having a conversation here. Legato, 5 months straight, no sleep, no rest, just twisting Vash up like a pretzel, make sure he doesn't get out, folding him, because, Legato's a punk bitch. And so, hold on here. So they're talking about this pain, and Vash is like, this is nothing compared to my pain for the past 150 years. By the way, the shoulder pad glows while he's doing his little psychic thing. So that's okay. That's an interesting thing. Vash reveals that he knows that when their hair turns black, that they're going to die. He says, he's pleading with his brother once more, saying that the humans depend on the plants to survive, as do the plants depend on the humans tending to them, because if the plants don't do anything, they just dust out, which I didn't know. That was an interesting thing there. That makes a lot of sense. Especially what we found a plant that was like reaching out like all ugly, turned to dust with these two that found it. I remember that. So that makes a lot of sense. Vash makes an excellent point, and just like the actor for this, really good job, really good facial animations on here too. Says that these people are forced into starvation, dehydration, and the plants are forced to work themselves, until they die, all because of the big fall. All of this is because of what you did, Knives. And Knives is not getting it. And I do, you got Legato being someone being Knives' I don't want to say conscious personality, because he slams Vash. Well, he's, every time Vash makes a point, he's kind of hurting him even more. And Knives just tells him lower him down. He slaps him on the ground. And Vash says, you really don't think people can change? It takes time. Yeah, they move backwards, but surely they move forward. This is literally him pleading with him. He's like, Rim was like that. He's like, yeah, but time is the problem. It's going to take way too long. Okay. They use up the plants and discard them. And Vash is like, okay, then we need to fix that problem instead of doing whatever this is you're doing. And Knives goes, well, nobody pays heed to the words of cattle. Bro, if the cow started to speak, sure, I'm pretty sure people will go, maybe we shouldn't eat these. There's a reason why it's illegal to eat dolphin. And then we come to the part about Tesla. He asks if he forgot Tesla, and Vash, like, with that bionic arm, reaches forward and breaks the glass. And I was like, no, I got him with his Jean Grey impression. I got you. He was like, I hadn't forgotten for a minute. And, he's crying. That was the moment that, broke. Oh, he actually said that too. I was just saying this. That's the moment that drove everybody mad. That drove us mad, he said. And that's the thing, though. True nature of violence can only be named by those who have felt it. Love hearing that during Black History Month. Only those who have experienced pain can truly speak the words to stop conflict. Do you want to make Tesla's death another part of the cycle of hatred and strife, or are you going to make it the foundation upon which you build your conviction? And that's the real struggle. And, as his brother's trying to walk off. And then this is where we get more of what I remember from the 98. He's insane. I almost use a 4-letter word. He's saying, you're right. I've learned through unbearable pain, and I want them to. Only once they feel what I feel will they finally be even. And he said, I told you this is the battle to even out everything. And I even wrote here with more curse words, you killed a lot of people. Like a lot of people. So you're doing this because I feel like he's using the plants being used as an excuse here. because his whole thing is I want to get the plants on those immigrant ships and then free them. We'll make a planet just for the plants. But it feels like it's a crutch as an excuse because he's using plants to make himself stronger. He used 20 plants grafted this time around to give him more strength and says, my brethren help me out here. I can't wait to talk about Ilyandra's comment to that. And it's like they dry up. Like you were talking in a room full of red plants, like you have used them up. Feels very hypocritical, especially when he says, this is me speaking. This is my rage. So your rage, you've literally stopped yourself from talking about the grief, getting through the grief. You're just like, nah, I'm going to do this, but with as many people as you've killed on lives as you've ruined, still not even, huh? Okay. I mean, it's not okay. You're batshit crazy, but okay. And Vash tells him, don't make the same mistake. Because the mistake was the big fall. And then he tries to tell him to forget Realm because it's only going to hurt him. Sure. What was the next part I have here? And I'm going to talk about Ilyandra Crimson Nail. So, I love that while he's doing the plants, right? Ilyandra says to the doctor, hey, doctor, he's always talking about his brethren this, his brethren that. And he's like, yeah. And she's like, never mind. I think she's finally realizing he doesn't see them as brethren. Like, let's focus on this for a minute. As far as I know, Ilyandra in here is like a human plant hybrid. I don't know. We never got a backstory on her. But I'm assuming because in the manga where this character comes from, who is an adult trans woman, right? The strongest of the gung ho guns, the only person that can go toe to toe with Legato. Completely different character, completely different motivations, blah 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 blah. Very loyal still from what my research is telling me, but here she seems like a young version of them, right? Of Vash and Knives. I wonder if now she's finally going, they don't really consider us brethren, or at least me. I'm not really fully human, but part of you is human, right? The doctor, Wolf was having a conversation with him. Apparently those are metabolic enhancers, those little vials. Wolf was like, nah, I ain't using that. But Wolf was watching Vash get twisted up, I guess, and I know why he's been here. Wolf was so smart. I like it. Anywho, when talking with the doctor's like, once he brings about this calamity, a handful of humans will be able to evolve and work hand in hand with whatever is going on with the plants. Because his whole thing was to make humans be able to survive the climate on the planet without needing the plants. Same goal as her, same goal as Vash and Knives, but everyone has a different way. And the funny part is, these two now, but her and Vash are too busy fighting the other two because the other two are like, only way we can get this done is just through the bloodshed. Insanity. We got Wolfwood versus Legato, which I like how smart he was. He's like, so 5 months of no sleep, no rest, I can get you. Now he was getting, controlling his hand, about to make him blast his own face. He's like, yeah, that one-liner is going to be what gonna kill you. No, because I'm willing to bet, yeah, if this was like you at your top of your game, but the current you, I bet you can only control one person at a time. If Vash breaks through, Wolfwood lights his back up. And of course, Vash still tells him, no, don't kill him. I'm sitting there like, nah, you need to just, oops, my bad, Vash. Let me just kick him a little bit more. I'm just saying, some of these villains need to just... I'm just saying. So outside of those character moments, that really good speech, the reveal at the end that Livio is still alive, right? But not just Livio being alive, now he is Roslo. Roslo? Yeah, Roslo, the Tri-Punisher. That mask falls off. He has 2 of the crosses. And then his hair goes from white to black. And a freaking third arm just comes out with another. This was probably my favorite cliffhanger that they've ended off on. I hope this is. Oh yeah, that show's a lot better like that. No, too right. This is probably my favorite cliffhanger because it just ends after this. Now, this character shows up as the alternate personality of Luvio in the manga. I'm assuming that's what we got here. Because he's like, oh, you killed Luvio. He's like, no, fool, you still alive. That concept art, though, the concept art with the 3 crosses and the crosses being like, cross bearers, being 2 ladies and then some buff guy here, and this is Luvio. And the background, I wonder. By the way, someone told me that that concept art where it was a gnarly looking cross was for, I guess, supposed to be for him. I don't think that was for him. I do think that was for Wolfwood. I think everything else in the concept art phase of this ending part here was for him. Did he go back to the orphanage / church and kill everybody? Because the next episode is called Goodbye, My Friend. Yeah. Oh yeah, Wolfwood got Vash back his coat. They got to get the hell out of there. There's still some seeds ships on there, so got to figure out how to fly one and leave. And Roslo is in the way. So I do know that Roslo / Luvio with the mind switch fight Iliandria the Crimson Nail in the manga. So while I keep saying mixing the medias together and getting something different, much appreciated. I don't know what's going to happen next. I'm looking forward to this. But does that mean that we're not getting the third? Because pretty sure we're getting 12 episodes here. We're coming up on 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is this series only going to be 24 episodes? Like the original? There's still a lot of stuff that hasn't been covered from the manga that they could easily integrate in here. So we'll see. There's supposed to be like more independence in the manga. Maybe we'll get more independence once the ships get here. I don't know. We'll see. But this is great. This is literally 5 out of 5. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I didn't realize I didn't take as many notes just on the speeches and some of the little minute details, but I enjoyed this episode a lot. You definitely pulled me back in, especially with Vash. Vash showing a lot of character, a lot of conviction. I feel like this is probably like one of the stepping stones to showing Vash having kind of having to turn a corner and get a little bit more serious. You don't want to kill nobody. You got to get a lot more serious, and this might be like that turn there. So we'll see. 5 out of 5. Let me know what you think of the episode or what you thought of the episode in the comment section down below. Please do not forget to like this video, share the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, please. And don't forget to visit that Patreon link in the description below. Thank you guys. Hope you had a great weekend. Please be good, be blessed. Wash your hands, drink some water, get some good sleep. Trust me, good sleep stops you from getting sick. All right. Be good to yourself, be good to others. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk. And remember, you are not alone. I know things are hard. You can feel down, out, depressed, but there are people out there that would rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. Please make sure you reach out to someone. You talk to someone. There are people, did I already say that? I did say that. But you don't have to shoulder your burdens alone, all right? Want to talk to me? My social medias are also in the description below, all right? Make sure you give me a follow, say hello, be mellow, and we'll be good to go, all right? All right, until next time, y'all, I hope this could be my thumbnail. I'll see you soon.